Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Orange Power Podcast, turning our attention to softball. And we've got with us the head coach of the Cowgirl softball team, Kenny Gajewski, in year number 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, your math's good.
It is good. I mean, it's so team 10, right? Or what?
Yeah.
What is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So tell me about team 10 so far.
Well, obviously, just so we don't upset anybody, we know we've had more than 10 teams here. It's just team 10 under us. So I want to make sure that everyone's clear on that, because we obviously have some history here that's pretty stout. But team 10, it's been a fun ride. We've already played 16 or so games, or maybe 18 games now, and we've played some good teams, played a really good schedule, and I think we kind of are starting to learn kind of a little bit of who we are. Yeah. So it's you always, I think when the season starts, you always have this idea of who you are, and I think rarely does it play out that way. And I think the best teams and best programs are those who can adapt on the fly and evolve and go to plan B and C and D and just keep winning games, and that's what this team has done. 19 games under your belt already, so let's talk about this team a little bit from a standpoint that you are. First off, let's go back to what you just said. Team 10, for this current head coaching staff, you have always been very deliberate in reaching to the past, not just to welcome them. It's almost like, hey, this is your program. You helped build these programs. I'm just the caretaker for now. You have always been very respectful of the past and the history of this program. I mean, it's the way to be. I mean, it is a major part of what we do. It's the foundation, and that's what made this job 10 years ago so attractive, was what Coach Fisher had built here, and we wanted to not only honor that, but find a way to try to exceed that, and that's a tall task. I think we're on our way, but not there yet.
What makes this job attractive now? 10 years into it, 5 straight Women's College World Series, some terrific young ladies, obviously terrific coaching staff that has changed over the years and morphed into what it is right now. What makes this job attractive now?
Oh, I mean, I think what the first 10 years has done from this group, you know what I mean? I think that would be the new look of us. And, what makes it attractive is walking out here to opening day on a Sunday at noon and seeing 1,700 fans in this place. We didn't get that for a homestand. We'd be lucky to get that for a homestand, my first year. And so, and it just started then. So I don't know. There's just a lot of things. I mean, we're supported, and, we obviously need to do more and more and more, but, the winning is attractive. The way we go about it, I think, is attractive. And, I think women's sports as a whole are pretty attractive right now. So I think we're in a good spot.
Well, and it's interesting because when you talk about those numbers, right, and how people are coming to the ballpark, I always say this, you would, I'm sure, say this, winning is the best marketer, right? That's number one. But you also have to have a connection, right? You have to catch that right mood. And you guys have done that. I mean, you can't get enough stands out there to fill the need, which is every year we're talking about, we're putting in these for the season, we're putting in these for the season. It's been awesome to see how this fan base has really locked in and said, okay, yeah, they're not just winners. They're winning the way that we appreciate, and let's get on board. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, people obviously want to win, but they would just want to see a consistent effort. One thing I've always told our team is, look, like the beauty of Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma, is that we're a blue collar state. I don't think we should run from that. That's who we are. We're proud of that. And when we invest in tickets, which are expensive, and they're getting more expensive, but no matter what, we need to be able to put a product out there that our fans want to come and support. And as things rise, we still need to continue to do that. But when people invest their money to come into the stadium, a lot of times it's 2.5 hours where they can leave all their troubles at the gate. Mm-hmm. And so our job is to go out there and give them our very best, put a smile on our face, play hard. We're not going to win every time, but we're going to win a lot. And I think you give people some hope. You give people a chance to reset, catch their breath, and just walk out of here with a smile on your face and go, man, those guys can really play, and they're really fun to watch.
And so now, Lynn, let's reflect back, going back to my original thought before I re-diverted, was to Team 10. Nobody on this camp, nobody I've ever known has at the coaching position does as much self-reflecting as you do. During the season, at the end of the season, reflecting as you as a coach in decision-making, you as a coach is what we did as a team, as a staff, all of those sorts of things. Is it becoming easier to see what a team is capable of and where they're headed this early? Or is it still 10 years in? I mean, we put it together, but how it's really going to play out, we still don't know yet.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that about the way we do it here, but I don't know that I reflect more. Maybe I'm more open and honest.
You admit it more.
Maybe, yeah. Which is why I think people like our program, because whether you agree or not, you're going to get what's on our minds and our thoughts, and I think that's important stuff. If you're going to build a connection, then you have to be honest. And even when it's hard, even when it's not great. And so, look, I like we talked about, like, I don't know that the way this team has started is exactly the way we thought it was going to go. So even in 10 years in now, I don't know that I would have drew it up just like this. But it is what it is. I mean, we can't, it is what it is. And so we start to have to adapt and adjust, and that's why you want depth, and that's why you need you need different layers of experience, all that kind of stuff, and we have that through our staff and through our team. And so I think that's how you can sustain very good play, is have all those things.
So early on, if I'm not mistaken, you dipped below 500 on 2 different occasions, playing the most brutal schedule you have ever put together. And listen, again, I give you a hard time about everything. One thing I cannot give you a hard time about is your scheduling, other than go, what are you thinking? But you've done that from year one. Challenge those first 3 weekends, man, we are playing brutal schedules. Well, this year may have been the most brutal. When you knew that, and you knew you had new kids, and you dipped below 500, at any point did you go, ooh, I know it didn't feel good, but did you go, ooh, did I overdo it? Did I go one step too far this time?
Yeah, I'm human. So like, and my brain's not very big, like I always say. So it's able to wander at times, and I'm just in a better spot to stop it from wandering, to be able to have 10 years as a head coach now, which is still a lot less than a lot of people. That's why I want to have this staff around me, because you got to stop your mind from wandering. The sky wasn't falling. Like I told Vanessa at one point when we were, I don't know, we had played like 10 games, and I said, hey, look, like, we're not exactly where we want to be, but look, we're here. We're hitting 310 as a team. Like, we would have probably taken that. You just lose sight of things. We played about as tough of a stretch of a schedule as we're going to have, and to still be hitting like that, it's okay. And so it was like talking to her about, hey, we're okay. We're really growing. We're learning. We're getting better, and we need to continue that. And so I'd rather do that hitting 310 than 250. And we've had a lot of years where we've hit 220 during that span, and it didn't win games. So now we'll be able to win games. We had a really cool game against Nebraska where, Ruby's cruising, and then we go in the 7th, and then we have a really, Carly makes a unfortunate play on a bunt that puts us at first and third with no outs, and she didn't deserve to be in that spot. And when we won that game, I turned to Coach Berg and I said, hey, it's taken us a lot of years to get to this point where we could win that game. After playing so well, we've had numerous couple years in the beginning where we would have found a way to lose that game. Now we didn't even, I don't think any of us thought we couldn't, and we weren't. So doesn't mean we wouldn't or couldn't, but I don't think that's how we were thinking. And so it just takes time.
Well, and I mean, again, let's go back to the record early on. I mean, you could be. I mean, literally, you could be 19-0 with a.
Oh, come on! We got our butts kicked against Florida State.
No. I'm just saying, if you schedule differently.
Oh,
if you wanted to be, you'd be 19-0 with 12 run rules. But that's not the way to be better to host a regional and to be able to get through a regional and to host a super and to get through it and then to get to Oklahoma City and make a run. You could have scheduled a 19-0 record,
no
but you didn't do that.
No.
I mean, you played number 8, you played number 4, you played number 19, you beat number 5, you beat number 22, you beat number 16. I mean, it truly is amazing just how this schedule set up and how you guys did it. Again, it's just odd to say that to you. You dipped below 500, but there's not probably a team in the country that wouldn't have played that schedule that would have been below 500 at some point.
And I don't think you have UCLA on there.
UCLA number 4.
Oh, you got them on there. Okay, there you go.
Did you doubt me?
I kind of did. There's reasons. There's reasons why I can doubt you.
I want to share a term that I just learned.
Oh boy.
Well, no, but it came from a good source. It came from Josh Holliday. He called it competitive endurance. We have to have competitive endurance. You know, they just coming off some good wins. When you go back to your late inning antics, and those come from behind victories, and then obviously winning, even if you win by a large margin, to hold on to beat Nebraska, you have to have competitive endurance for 7 full innings. It can't be for the first couple, and it can't just be for the last. We have to do it for 7. And this team's already shown they can do that.
Yeah, they have. And my challenge to them, and I'll steal Coach Holliday's term, we need to have competitive endurance early, especially after like big emotional wins. You know, we had that emotional win against Nebraska. Just a really good game, right? It's a top 25 matchup in a neutral side against one of the best pitchers in the country. And then we came out very, very poorly against Missouri. We give up 2 runs in the first on errors. You know, we did the same thing against Florida State. Had a big game to start the year off, and then get beat by La Tech. No disrespect to La Tech, but we weren't very competitive, and that's something that obviously they did to us. But we need to be able to control us, and so I've been very open to this team about. We must turn around and play well the next game because that's the most important game of the whole year. This is great. We just won. Congratulations. We got to play again. Yeah. Now that stuff is starting to stop. We're going to be into single games now, for the most part, unless we have rain. So that will change some. But you know, we played 4 games in. I believe it was 30 hours in Wichita. Wow. And we drove up. Did you hear me there? We drove. We drove up. And we got off a bus, had a brunch, went right to the ballpark, played again, went back to the hotel, slept, got up in the morning, played 2 more games, and then drove home. And so there's a lot of this that is difficult. And you're asking these student athletes that are trying to manage school and a regular life, and whatever else is going on. So we've done some really good stuff, but like a coach, you know, you're never really satisfied and probably need to be some more of that at times, but it's been a tough road.
It's been a tough road, but it's been an awesome road. I mean, there's nothing that says to anybody that knows this program that they're not exactly where you were for the last 4 years, 5 years. And that this team is in a really good spot. And here's the crazy part about it. We're getting ready to start conference.
It's wild.
It is wild.
Yeah.
And obviously a big series coming up this weekend.
Yeah. Who are we playing?
You guys are going to be playing Texas Tech, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah. No, we know exactly who's coming. I was making sure that you knew. And I saw you stutter, so I was like, you may not know.
I was trying to be like you.
Yeah, it's you know, it's gonna be a test. I think they were picked to finish second in the conference. We know why. They have a tremendous arm. They have some hitters that are performing well. New staff, new energy. drawn crowds, and it's just what our conference needs.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled. I'm like I told our team when we got to face Geordie Ball in Nebraska, I could not wait to see their growth and how they're going to compete, and we did that.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see how we're going to compete against Niger. It is going to be a test. It is a World Series arm that we're going to have to really fight through.
Before we go back to Tech, I want to go back to the opening weekend here. Finally, after a long extended break, you guys dismantled Drake. You did what you're supposed to against Tulsa, and you had kids. Now let's go back again. As I said, you could. Once these kids have gone through the gauntlet of Florida State, UCLA, Florida State again, Auburn, all those teams, now then you start getting into some of those midweek games, and on paper, you're the better team. But you still got to go perform that way, and you're still going to put a lot of kids in the circle, and you're still going to give other kids opportunities. You have to go perform. And so in that opener, in front of that great crowd, it's exactly what you guys did.
It was good. It was really cool to be at home. I drove to the ballpark, went to my coffee group. Well, actually, I didn't go to my coffee group. It was Sunday. I got up early and did some things, and then came over here. And driving over here, I had those opening day jitters, and it's wild. I couldn't wait though. I just couldn't wait to get home. I was curious to see what kind of crowd we'd have on a Sunday at noon, which is we're asking our fans to do a lot to either skip church or really get over here quickly from church and all that kind of stuff. And to see our outfield so full 30 minutes before the game had even started was, I looked at Vanessa, I said, hey, we've been here for a long time. This has been kind of cool, and you're a big part of this. And we all are, but it's kind of neat for somebody like her that, was here in our first year, and Maddie Sue was here in our first year. And, just to have these people working here and to be able to experience that from when they played their first years to now, it makes me proud. Yeah, it's really cool. So
last thing, go back to Texas Tech, and obviously they do have the marquee arm. They have the most notable transfer from a year ago, probably. But that's going back. First off, do you have a sense of what your team, the excitement level that they're looking forward to? And again, when you've seen Geordie Ball and you've seen UCLA and some of these other pitchers, that's why you go play those, because that's what you're going to see against Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see one of those arms, right? And they've got a couple other arms that are throwing well as well. So I don't want to take anything away from them. But we know we're going to see her twice, I would think, Friday and Sunday both. That's the way they typically have gone. We'll see how that works now. It's going to be new. I mean, everybody's got tricks up their sleeves, so we'll see how that works. Yeah, I mean, we're prepared, and we'll prepare well this whole week. We'll prepare for everything that we've got to do. The next game is the most important game. We'll focus on that, and so I'm just excited to see our growth.
You excited about doing this all year?
Yeah, I can't wait. No, this is great
it's
stuff.
going to be fun. Listen, it's already, we had to do it kind of from afar to this point, right? Because you've been on the road so much. But excited about getting the conference here and getting you guys back home. Let's go. Let's go win some ball games.
Let's do it.
Hey, that's going to do it for us. Appreciate you guys tuning in. For Kenny Gajewski, I'm Casey Kendrick. See you next time on the Orange Power Podcast.